down there now? Well, they always up to something, them two. What's them yahoos doing?
What y'all got going on down there?
Got everybody asking what they doing down there. What they doing down there. What they doing down there. Everybody asking what they gon' do now. What they gon' do now. What they gon' do now. Everybody asking what they doing down there. What they doing down there. What they doing down there. Everybody asking what they doing down there. We just trying to make a difference with the bass and the snare. And you can call me Bon Jovi cause we're living on a prayer. We got everybody asking what we doing down here. Down here in the swamps, in the woods where we roam. Got mud on my tires, hang my hat and I'm home. Tell them about
The hustle is hard, but the rewards are sweet. Every challenge that we meet, we refuse defeat. We got that sun on our faces and the wind in our hair.
Hey, good morning, good morning. Today's March 7th, fun day, Friday. Always having a good time here in 239. Got a lot going on today. I gotta reach out to you. Today's gonna be a little bit hard for me. We lost one of my dear friends, friends to us here in Collier County, friends to us at the sheriff's office. Amazing guy, Lieutenant Al Flanagan, passed away last night after a long battle with cancer. God bless you, Al. I can't tell you how much you mean to me. Again, it's going to be tough. Your smiling face. Every time you asked Al for his help, he was always there for us. And those that know him and love him really care. Let's pray a little bit for his family. He's got a wonderful family, son, daughters, beautiful wife, Linda. We're there for you if you need anything. We just want to let you know we are there for you. But we love you, Al Flanagan. One of the toughest, funnest, best police officers I've ever met. The only guy that I know that can drive around on a computer, drinking coffee, talking on the radio, smoking a cigarette, and getting to the call first. And if he had to, he'd use his firearm if needed. But we love you, Al. Thank you so much. Again, just want to let you know how much you mean to us. Rest in peace, my brother. We love you. Without further ado, we just want to talk a little bit about 239. Again, it's going to be a little bit of a tough one for me today, but we'll get through it. Listen, here at Studio 239, we're not just a podcast facility. We're a family. We enjoy each other's company. Get on down here and record. Your story starts here at the 239, and I will tell you that probably next Friday, we should be shooting totally from our new studio, so we're really looking forward to that. But listen, without further ado, I'm going to go in and lighten this up a little bit. Bring the one and only Pat Gira. I just want to make sure you're still there. Are you still there, Patrick? Look at Gira Media.
Good morning, sir. Hey, shout out to Mike Valdez, but Bryce Lawrence, wasn't I just talking about him, Tim? Bryce Lawrence is in the room and watching us. So good morning, Bryce. We want to get you on next week. I was
Hey,
just
Bryce.
mentioning your name to Tim this morning. So, but condolences to you, Tim. I know you lost a good friend, and today's a tough show. And also wanted to say we were going to have Yvette on today, but she had to travel last minute. But she's going to be on Monday morning, 8:30, Representative Yvette Benaroche. So she will be on with us Monday morning.
Yeah, without a doubt, when you're a rep in Tallahassee and you live in Southwest Florida, that's a long trek. So we appreciate you having on, and it's great.
It's a brutal 6-hour drive from Naples to Tallahassee.
Oh, it's rough. And then when you get to Tampa, you still got a ways to go. I think that little stretch from, I would say probably like from Inglewood down to Fort Myers, every time I do it, it's always a task.
Yeah, and then it just kind of drags when you get up the further up the state, little side roads, and you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. You get a flat tire, and you're pretty much screwed. So definitely a trek. Made a couple of those drives to Florida State University over the years.
Yeah, when you were going to law school there?
I did not go to law school there. Neither did Larry.
And Larry did.
What's that?
Did Larry go to law school at FSU?
No,
Where did he go? In Texas?
Texas.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I couldn't remember. He went to FSU to play. Did he play football at FSU?
He did not.
When the tackle.
No, well, here again, I did not speak for Larry Love. I get trapped in this,
Best friend. I mean, you got to know what your best friend's up to.
but I don't speak for him. He doesn't speak for me. So maybe get Larry on the live, and you can ask him these fine questions.
We need to get Larry on the live. How come we haven't? He does travel a lot, though, Larry.
He
Larry
does travel.
Love.
I got travel. Yeah, he travels more than freaking a Major League Baseball player. He's on the road a lot.
Yeah, he's Larry's a fun guy. We had a great picture. Actually, we're going to put that up there on Monday.
Okay.
Picture of us, and kind of Patrick can explain it. You want to give just a little quick rundown of the picture we did? And
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people laughing at it because I'm Suge Knight in it, and I'm Mr. Gang Guru police
Well,
officer.
You're the boss. The boss. The Suge was the boss. The CEO. You're the CEO. And no, it's an iconic hip hop magazine cover from Vibe magazine, 1995. I want to say, and picture of Death Row Records, which was by far the biggest hip hop record label, probably of all time, but with Tupac, Snoop, Suge Knight, and Dr. Dre. And I've always wanted to do something like that, and Larry has too. We're going to argue whose idea it was, but we got to come to fruition because shout out to Donnie Papa. He's going to do a sketch and do a painting of it, and he brought his friend, the photographer. I'm drawing a blank on it. Let me give him a quick shout out. Arnaldo Donato.
Yeah, the great veteran. The great veteran. Yeah, promotes.
Great veteran. And here, let me plug his social media page. His social media page is andy.don_art.studio. Go and follow his page. He did the photography on it and turned out great. We're going to unveil the mural on Tuesday and get some shirts made up. But we had fun. Ton of great response and people laughing and loving it. Texting. I had a friend who doesn't have social media, and he said he got about 10 messages about that cover, about that photo. So I guess you kind of say it went viral a little bit, right? So.
Yeah, it's in our world it went viral, right? So yeah,
in our world, yeah,
it was fun. Yeah, it was great, and it's good. I like to have it, being retired with you guys in the studio, having a great time.
And I made it clear to Tim. I said, "You know what we're doing here, and you know who you're portraying, right? Suge Knight. You know who Suge Knight?" And Tim's like, "I know who Suge Knight is. Are you okay with it?" And yeah, and sure enough, I had a couple people call. I can't. Tim's gonna kill you. You got him portraying Suge Knight. I said, "Listen, Tim's in the photo shoot. He signed off on it." So,
do I look like Suge Knight? Right? Do I look like Suge?
Yeah, a little. You look like a Italian mob boss in that picture.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Get the finger up there and everything. I was just doing it.
Or either that or the guy from Austin Powers. You look like a little bit, but with the yeah. But we had a lot of fun and turned out even better than I thought, and can't wait to get the mural up. So good time, and shout out to Mike Esposito. Michelle's in the building too. What's up, Bryce?
Make sure they're commenting. You guys.
They are there. Yeah. Throw comments, questions.
Yeah, I see. I see him up here now. I got him. Throw him up there. Good morning. Hey, Bryce, how's it going, buddy? Get you guys' comments. Lois Bolin is in the studio as well as Joe.
Lois is in the green room. Throw in your favorite Death Row Records song. And when I say Death Row Records, that would be Snoop, Dre, or Tupac. Your favorite Death Row song. I know Mike Esposito loves himself some Death Row Records, so throw in a comment. Good morning, Mike Valdez. What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
We got Blake Becker coming on later too at 9:30 live from Key Largo. Is it Key Largo?
I think he's down to Key Largo. Yeah, Key Largo. And while we have that, I want to just throw out a little bit of information on Becker Custom Builders, and just does a wonderful job. And we'll go ahead and make sure we pay our bills with him. It's always good. Yeah. Custom Builders. Blake Becker and his team are always about luxury design, top-notch quality, and giving you the best experience imaginable. Becker Custom Builders are experts in building your dream kitchen, bathroom, or even making your outdoor kitchen area a reality. They will take your plain house and make it into a cozy, welcoming home. So if you're looking to upgrade your space, Becker Custom Builders is the only place to look. They've got you covered. Blake and his team have whipped up the studio in no time, and it's looking great. Remember, contact Becker Custom Builders. Thank you. It's always good to have people that support the show. If you're looking forward to support the show, make sure to get a hold of myself or Patrick Gira. Patrick.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some great packages available to get in on, help sponsor the show. You can do a 60-second ad, 90-second ad. And the great thing about it is not only will you be on the live, but we have the live stream online radio show, which runs 24/7. Plus, we're on YouTube. So it's a great opportunity to get your business and name out there, and you can come on and talk about it as well. So please let us know if you're interested. Some great March packages available. So jump on early. You can help promote your business and also help Tim and Jira make a little bit of a living too. So,
well, and if anybody thinks we're getting rich off the show, it's not. It's just like we just like to get the information out there, and it's always a fun time for us to do that. And if for those that are fans of the show, and we have a lot of people. I mean, I run around everywhere. I saw you on the show the other day. Yeah. If you are a little bit of a fan of the show, which we hope you are, make sure to comment. But we also have what is known as our Stump Pat Jira. And if you could do that, we're going to bring it up a little bit here and give you a little bit of a rundown. What we want to try to do is if you know an NFL football player, and I think you're probably like 10-1 right now. I mean, I think you're about 10. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
9-1, I think, yeah. Yeah,
9-1, 10-1. If you know an NFL football player, again, Pat knows a lot of information about stuff I can't say we don't care about, but he knows the NFL. And if you know a player that has played from 1995 and up, Pat Jira will tell you what college he played for. So and Tim, please make sure to put that in the comment.
And if I don't get it right, what do they win?
And if you don't get it right, and hopefully you will, but if you don't get it right, or actually if you do get it right and you stump Patrick, you get a 1 free shooting session at the one and only Alamo Range, and that's Kerry Scott over there. That's the GM. He does an unbelievable job. We're going to give you a couple minutes to think of that player, and if you know of a player, again, 1995 and up, that probably started and played a little bit, make sure you do that. In just a second, we're going to have the one and only Lois Bolin on. She gives us our fun time on Friday. She gives us our opportunity on Friday to give us a lot of good information that's what's going on. So, Patrick, if you can get Lois ready, that would be great, and we'll get it up. And Lois gives us a lot of really good information about what's going on in Southwest Florida. And the great thing about Southwest Florida is we are strongly committed to our veterans, and our veterans mean everything to us, which is very important. I happen to be a veteran, but I do claim to be a veteran. And I said to claim it, I was in the Air Force from 1986 to 1990. But I really love the opportunity. I've been on the honor flight numerous times. I help out a little bit at the VFW when I can, and I try to go to the events that our veterans are providing us here in Southwest Florida. So it's a great place to be if you're a veteran. We take a lot of pride in what we do for our veterans, and it's just very important. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the programs and some of the things that we have for our veterans. And Lois is always, she's always very good about trying to keep us informed about our veterans and what is going on. I want to just bring Lois in real quick. Lois, are you there? Lois, I got to get you up here. Are you there? Yay, Lois! I got Pat. Yeah, here we go. I'll get you get a little bit clearer. Make sure you're looking good. I got you at the pier today. Patrick, if you could tilt the computer down just a little bit, that would be great, and then put her over a little bit to the other side. There you go. Perfect. We got Lois in the studio. Lois, can you hear us? Are you there?
I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
I got you, Lois. I got you. You're looking great. Thank you so much for coming in. I always love it when Lois gets here. She rolls in, gets her stuff ready. It comes coming in hot in the studio. And, we threw the pier in the back, so you look like you're enjoying yourself. You're relaxed, it's always good. This first little thing we want to talk about is the opportunity. It's a very important day on Friday. Tell us a little bit about this, Lois, on Friday.
Well, I don't have on my, didn't get my hair done this morning, but on every Friday, we need to wear red and something that's symbolic of remember everyone deployed. So Red Friday, you'll see different shirts. I had on my VFW shirt last week. I was going to wear it again, but then my dog threw up on it this morning, so I figured I'll just put on Life with Dogs. So I just put on a red shirt, but I always wear that pride and I love that our military, since January, they're getting like 300 new recruits a day coming back to the military. So that's really quite wonderful. So we have to always remember the people that are deployed and welcome these new Blue Star mothers that will be coming into our fold in the area.
Yeah, now what's the difference between what's a Blue Star mom, number one, and we obviously will explain what a Yellow Star is, and that's something we never want to have, but Blue Star.
Okay. A Blue Star is for parents who have children that are deployed, men or women that they have children that are deployed in the armed services. Gold Star is the ones who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. They actually have a Silver Star too, which if they were wounded in war, they now give a Silver Star, or they have a Silver Star group. But Blue Star, we have a very active Blue Star group here in the community. They work very interconnectedly with our Gold Star mothers when we do lots of events, whether it's Veterans Day, Memorial Day, Wreath Across America. So they're wonderfully engaged in a lot of good stuff. Like Kathy Mayo is a Blue Star, a Blue Star mom, and is Deb Mosier.
And then
I forget the guys, but
yeah. And then Mike Valdez, thank you for chiming in. I'll get to your question for Patrick here in a minute. We won't give him any time to look it up, but love this Lois. So it's very good. And it's important. It's important for our veterans to see how much we appreciate them and.
For sure.
Remember everyone deployed. I got my red shirt on. I'm gonna try to make sure to stick to that. Every day when I'm on Friday. A little bit about this. VFW Auxiliary, I know you're heavily involved with that. Tell us a little bit about the VFW and what you got going on with them, Lois.
I'm actually quite honored. This was the first local Florida VFW Auxiliary member that's been in the national magazine. And they did a story of love, friendship, and gratitude. Of course, there's my boy, Wayne Smith.
Captain Wayne Smith. Yay, Wayne. Hope he's listening in.
And we talked a little bit about some of the things I was involved in. That picture on the right side, Wayne now goes with me to read to students at schools called the Patriot Readers. And we read a story about Abraham Lincoln or Washington's dogs, or when it's closer to Veterans Day, we talk about veterans. So, it's a great thing to read to kids about patriotism and have them engaged and so forth.
Yeah, very important to let kids know a little bit about what's going on in the military and our country. And tell us a little bit about this program. How often do you do this, Lois? You go in quite frequently?
Program?
Yeah.
I think there are 2 this month. I got to go back and check my calendar and plug it in on the Wayne's calendar. We do at least once a month in any public school or private school or homeschool group that would like to have us come in to read. I can refer you to, you can call me and I'll refer you to the people that are in charge of that. I'm just I just show up and serve.
What grade kids do you guys usually read to?
Kindergarten through second.
Okay, awesome.
And that's a
Yeah,
cray crowd. They actually are very good and very well behaved. It's
yeah,
hard in the 4 o'clock time slot because they've had a long day, but it's okay. It's
yeah.
kind of like the adult. By 4 o'clock, you're like, I want to go home.
Yeah, let's go. We got a little comment from Relentless Hope, and we're gonna go back. It says, I'll make it a little bit bigger. I don't know if you can see it, but that picture just doesn't sit right with me. That's David Cravens, because the real gangsters are MIA without us.
Oh,
It's
well.
just a group of photo, not a masterpiece. But that's the picture. We're gonna show it again on Monday.
They have to show them side by side to see. It's a great photograph.
We will show it on.
Well done.
It was going to be like a little bit of a reveal, but we kind of got a little excited and we started talking about it. So that's kind of how it
You
worked
guys
out.
get excited?
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun.
It's great. It's fun, and the picture is truly well done. The photography, whoever
Yeah.
did it's great.
Amazing. Real quick, talk about this Gulf Coast veterans and friends embracing those who
What a wonderful
serve.
group. My foundation is Southwest Florida Veterans Alliance, and we're just there to support people and whatever. But Jerry Sanford, Deb and Al Silver, and a few other people started this group where every Saturday they invite veterans to come to Fleischman Park, and they feed them and they have a little camaraderie, which you can see right here. Last week they had 95 veterans, and Chicopee Clark of Tag a Pet for a Vet did the breakfast, and Deb came up to me, she says, okay, we're going to be ready for you next week. And I'm like, oh crap, oh darn, am I doing the breakfast? So she said, yeah. I said, perfect. And the two people that were supposed to help me are off in Aspen, so when I leave here, I'm going to be going home to make sausage and egg scramble for 95 veterans, as well as little quiches. And thankfully I've got someone doing the biscuits for me, and then I've got ham I've got to carve. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow. And you can see, you meet some of the most wonderful people. Here are two gentlemen right here. The guy on the, back it up to the other one just
Yep.
for a second, if you can do that. The one guy on the right is Mr. Mango. He's 97. This guy to his left is 102.
Wow. Wow.
And he drove to the event. He still has his license. They passed their test. And of course, that handsome dude in the middle is
The one and only.
the one and only Wayne Smith with his pride and joy, Miss Brookie Poo.
Put that
You
back.
can see that right here.
All right. Look at that. October 2025. That's awesome.
So it's just a wonderful opportunity for people to get together with veterans, and really it's only for veterans unless you have a friend bring you. Like you can see Jeff Morris.
Yep. Jeff's great. Brotherhood
Yeah.
ride.
Brotherhood Ride. He does the 9/11 stair climb.
Yeah.
And he's a wonderful guy. Wonderful man. And I love these boys here. I always have to go see Mr. Mango because he's such a hoot.
Yeah. Let's
Love
go. We'll get in. There's Jeff.
There's
We got
Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah.
And
How many people usually come to the event? Or not the event, the breakfast.
the breakfast.
I've been to it before, but
At 93, I think. No, once they know I'm cooking, it could be 150. No, I hope there's no more than that.
yeah.
But you can just see it's just a wonderful, nice tables. I got to call Patrick to see if he could get me like 15 kids' helmets so I could put it on the on each table here, because Jerry Sanford was part of the group that an individual that helped start this group.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Jerry here in just a little bit. We got a couple more slides, but Jerry Sanford,
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing. Obviously, yeah, Patrick. Yeah, just
Go
get
ahead,
her
that's
squared
all
up
right.
just a little bit. There you go, Lois. Squared up a little bit.
Gotta
This
even
is
sit up.
the annual barbecue. The annual barbecue.
Once a year they do this, and they started this at the fire department. Obviously, Jerry was fireman, a retired fireman, and it's 12 o'clock noon. It's $10. You have to sign up ahead of time, and you get a raffle ticket, and they have some wonderful things that they do. But mainly, it's just, again, the camaraderie. And they have, I don't know, a couple hundred people that show up there at least. And then they have the junior firemen who are studying to be firemen, and police department, and pipe, guns and hoses, Piper Guns and Hoses, I forget what the name. So they, but you have to be, you just can't walk in and go, oh, I'd like to come have breakfast. You have to sign up.
Yeah.
And
I think
it's all,
I think you signed up Pat and I, correct?
sure. I did. Yes,
You
I
did.
did.
Yeah, you
Yes,
did. I believe you did. And
I did.
we'll take care of you when you get up there. But that's going to be
Yes,
March
I did.
22nd
I forgot. I did.
at 12 noon.
I wrote a check for $40. Why did I do that? That was why.
Hey, listen, I'll pay you back. I don't know about the guy beside you. I don't know if you got to keep an eye on him. We'll just bang his credit. We'll just bang his credit.
Yeah, we'll just have a chit list.
We'll put a little lawsuit in on him.
A little chit list. People don't even remember what a chit is. So we'll go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't say a bad word, CHIT. So.
Yeah. CHIT, not SHIT. And again, we lost another wonderful public safety professional here in Southwest Florida, FDNY for a long time. Amazing man. Tell us your story about Jerry.
Well,
I'm sure you have several of them.
He was up in New York on September the 10th, 2001. And the next day he was flying back because he made a presentation of a helmet or something that was historic helmet. And then on his way back, I think he was in Pennsylvania or whatever the case, he heard about the 9/11. And then I think he went back, and then of course then he came to Naples to get help. He has a book that's written. I don't know if I gave you the clip of that. It started with the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet. I do know the book, but I didn't get a picture that I know of. Yeah, the helmet.
But anyway, so he's been obviously very instrumental with the fire department, North Collier Fire Rescue Department, and also in starting the Freedom Memorial, which is on Golden Gate Parkway. As you make that U-way turn right there, he's very instrumental in that. It took a long time to get it built because of silliness. Nobody knew where you're supposed to send the money, and it had to go to the county because it's a county facility. But we finally got all that straightened out. His March the 12th, they have a viewing from 5 to 8. And then they, at Hodges, obviously, I say obviously, no, it could have been anyway.
But it's pretty much the one we all go to. And then March 13th is the funeral. Yeah.
Yes, but they have two funeral times, and I wanted to look that up just to be sure that I told you right.
Okay.
And that would be, it's at St. John the Evangelist Thursday from 3 to 5, and Thursday from 7 to 9 at St. John the Evangelist. I don't know if that's on there. I will tag that under my post, Lois Bolin. And you saw, oh God, who was the fire guy? Fireman Jeffrey Morris. Jeff Morris is actually going to lead the pledge at the county commissioners on Tuesday. I get different veterans and groups to come in to do the pledge for the commissioners, and he's going to do the pledge in honor of Jerry. He's a wonderful,
Jerry.
Guy.
Yeah, when I was working with the sheriff's office, we communicated quite frequently, but just can you imagine he had like 3 decades in at NYPD, or not NYPD, NYFD, and he comes down here and continues to work and do everything he does. Quite amazing. And the things he did to get that Freedom Memorial up and running, endless hours, just a wonderful guy. And he was always there trying to help and make a difference in the community. So yeah, it was big.
Well, and then a lot of people, like the year before it was finished, there just were a lot of people that said, we're getting this thing done. And so they held I don't think I have a picture of the actual ceremony that they have, but I did send you a picture of the Freedom Memorial plaque that's up there right as you walk past.
Let me see if I got it. I don't know if I got that. I think I got it. Is this? Yeah, that's a brilliant. That's
Tagapet. Well, here, let me see if I can show you this.
Yeah, maybe you can see it. Oh, there we go. Up just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we got it.
This. I'm ass backwards on this. I apologize. I don't know which one I'm supposed to hold it. But anyway,
You're doing it.
I'll post it again. But you can see the plaque and all
Put
the
it
people.
put your phone up there one more time, maybe we can see it a little bit better now. I got you zoomed in.
Oh,
Lift it up just a little bit. There you go. Yeah.
it's like driving a boat. You do the opposite.
Yeah, thanks Lois for sharing that.
Yeah, I was just showing you Wayne had helped out with that. So a lot of people did, as you can see the list. God bless. So that
And then-
was. And then there was one more picture. Did you get that of what the memorial looks like on 9/11? There was one.
I didn't get that, Lois. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, that was mine. I started looking this morning.
Just go ahead and stick it
I'll
up
post
there
it.
so we can see it with your phone.
Oh.
You got it on your phone.
Well, you can just see that they do. God, I'm just so tarded.
You got it. You're fine.
There we go. So that kind of gives you a feeling of what it's like when they light the candles, and so there you go.
Yeah,
but if you stop by anytime and walk around, and it's a very quiet, wonderful, respectful place and so forth. So yeah, we're gonna miss him, and you lost your friend, so it's just a rites of passage for so many of our friends.
Yeah, when you get a little bit older, it starts to happen more frequently. Obviously, people you love and care about, and people that have done so much in the community. It's tough. I mean, you sit around and you think about the conversations, the memories you've made with these people, and I'll tell you what, it's tough. And I think it's worse when nobody else is around because you start thinking about these people and how much they meant to you in your life. Lieutenant Al Flanagan and then Jerry. I mean, I can't tell you how many conversations we've had over the years about just all kinds of different things. And I know he's been instrumental in everything that you guys do with the veterans as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a continuum of love. As much as you love somebody, that's the amount of pain you're going to feel. That's the balance that you have, and it's the way it sadly is.
Yeah, and we also have Chicopee Clark. Yeah, so tag a pet for a vet. Tell us a little bit about this program, Lois.
She is such a wonderful, wonderful lady. Last Saturday, she did the breakfast. That's when I was reminded that we were supposed to do it. But Tag a Pet, they're looking to buy. They finally found some property that they don't have to go through zoning with all the craziness, and they're starting to do fundraisers to raise money where they can house pets that are not ready quite to be home, but also during all these hurricanes and so forth that we had, we didn't really have a place to bring animals or pets or so forth, but she's found a piece where they can use that, and she wants a place where veterans can come out and hang out and help with the animals and sort of make it a communal home feeling, spirit, so to speak.
Did she ever find a piece of property? Because I know I was looking hard for her, and it's so hard up in the States.
Both. I think she has.
Okay.
That's what they told me the last Saturday at the breakfast. They found a piece, and now they're just starting to do the funding. And I had introduced her to General Patton's great-granddaughter. I think granddaughter. And of course, she loves dogs. And of course, she's in France. So we're looking to try to get her back involved. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh man, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be really. I like to get some more of that champagne. That's why I want to make a connection with her.
Yeah. There you go. And then obviously on Friday or tonight, we got a tribute concert. Big shout out to Mike Randall, all he does for the veterans and our public safety folks here in Collier County. Concert tonight. Legends.
Concert tonight.
Yeah.
And Chicopee always has a veterans group, first responders group, and Chicopee is Tag a Pet for a Vet will be there, checking people in, shaking hands, and she'll get up and talk about what they're doing. Oh, thank you, Mikey.
Isn't that nice? Lois, this is very inspiring stuff.
I was like, oh, my ADHD just kicked in here. But he is so creative. And you see all these concerts springing up on little different things, even at the Hilton. Mike kind of starts the trend. People get on board and hop to it. But there's only one Mike Randall. He is awesome.
Yeah, Mike does a lot for our community.
Oh, yes, he does. A whole lot. So I want you all to come on down and come down. I'll buy you a drink or give you a ticket for a drink. No, I won't give you a ticket because that means Mike has to pay for it. I'll buy you a drink. So come on down and have a great time. It should be a lot of fun. Beach Boys, it might be a tad bit chilly, but bring a blanket, wrap up. We're tough here in Florida.
Lois, Patrick wants to know what's your favorite Beach Boys song?
Whew. Round, round, get around. I get around.
Oh, get around.
That's
Ooh,
what
I get
came to my
around.
mind. Are they the ones that did "We'll have fun, fun, fun" to you? Daddy takes your T-bird away.
I think so. I think you're onto it.
Yeah.
We need you to sing it. We need you to sing it.
And Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett, man, that's great.
Yeah,
Cheeseburger in Paradise. Cheeseburger in
That's-
Paradise. I mean,
Have a-
Jimmy Buffett could go on. We can go on forever for them with them.
Yeah. I don't have a costume for this. I got to have a parrot head hat. I don't know where you get one of those, but
No, it's good. Yeah, no. Lois, we appreciate you so much. I know you take some time out of your schedule, your busy schedule, to come down and talk with us. Thank you so much.
I will. That next week's going to be a very special Friday because it's Wayne's 52nd anniversary of being repatriated.
Oh wow, that's
That's
awesome.
a teaser for next Friday. Be
There
sure
you
to
go. We got to have it. But no, that's great. Thank you so much, Lois. I appreciate you for everything. But yeah, so we're so fortunate to have Lois in and coming in, giving us a little update. Our veterans are beloved here in Collier County. Thank gosh we have so much opportunity for them to get out and showcase everything we're doing for them. And it's really important that we continue to do so because, listen, we would not be here if it wasn't for our veterans. It wasn't for our public safety. If it wasn't for our school teachers, people that are out there every day working in the community that make Collier County such a bright place to be day in and day out. But we love Lois. We love the whole group, everybody. Again, Jerry Sanford, God bless him and his family. I know he's in a better place. He's not suffering, so that means a lot to us to know that. But we are so fortunate to have people like that in our community, and when they leave us, that's why they're so sorely missed. But thank you so much. I think Patrick's back. Patrick, are you back in action?
I'm here. I'm back. Love Lois. She does so much great things in the community. I think she's going to show off some of the shirts that Mike and Rose donated to that we have at the studio.
Yes, right there, Lois. Is there one there too?
Those are all the
Yeah.
baby ones.
Yeah,
There's a Studio 239. We got
those are available.
These are available. Also, if Lois can show us, Mike,
Rosemary, you're falling off.
Rosemary. This is the fallen officer one. We're actually going
Fallen
to
officers. Yeah.
give these out to our kids at Big Brothers Big Sisters, and then if you have a kid that needs one, please let us know, and we'll make sure we get one. Beautiful shirts. They're awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. And we appreciate that. We have them here at the studio, so just let us know. Put it in the comment. We'll make sure you get one. We appreciate it, and we love it.
Tim will personally deliver one to your house if you want one.
Thanks, Patrick. I
COD.
will. I will do it. You just never know. But
Got someone in Everglades City that wants one apparently.
oh, really?
Yeah, really.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
We'll make a day out of it.
We'll make a day out of it, Everglades. Okay, so Patrick, real quick, while we got you here,
Yes, sir.
we have a few of people that are going to challenge you.
You're gonna stump me?
This first one, see if we can stump Pat Gira, and hopefully they get it right. Because I want to see, I do need to see you get beat because you do win a Alamo Day at the Range. So let's see if we got it.
And a free Royal Scoop ice cream.
Oh, that's right. I got to get that with Matt.
Yeah.
Here we go. You ready for it?
Hit me
You
with
ready for
Tim.
it? I love this one.
Irving Fryer.
He played for
went
the
to
Patriots.
He was drafted by the Patriots. I believe he was the #1 overall pick too, Tim, in a really strong draft. I can't remember the exact year, but he was the #1 overall pick, and he went to the University of Nebraska. And what's interesting about that, he was a wide receiver at Nebraska under Tom Osborne, and they ran the triple option, so they didn't throw the ball very much. But still, as a wide receiver, he managed to be the #1 overall pick. He got drafted by the Patriots. He had a decent career there, but his career really took off with the Dolphins, actually. He had a couple really good year with the Dolphins. I want to say he was with the Eagles as well. So University of Nebraska.
Let's see. Did we gotta go? Oh my goodness! Big air horns! Big air horns! Yay! So Pat, you gotta get. Now we got one more. Let's see if we can get this one. Sab's coming in with a big question. Ronnie Hillman.
Running back. Well, that's a good one, Sab. It was like a third down back. Gosh, I want to say San Diego State, Sab. I'm not. I'm like 75% certain. I could be wrong on that one. Third down running back. Boy, Sab, you got some. Thought we said starters, but Ronnie Hillman was like a backup third down back. But we'll roll with San Diego State.
Sab, let us know, buddy. If it's there, let me know. Check this out. Nailed it. So what do we do now? You're 2-0 today.
I believe he might have played for the Broncos. I know he was like a third down running back. Definitely played on a couple teams. Let's see, he played for the Broncos for a couple of years, which would make sense as well. Easy.
Oh.
Well. Oh, okay, Fiola. Well, he's referencing Irving Fryer.
Yeah, Irving Fryer.
And he had Marino towards the tail end of his Marino's career and Irving Fryer's career, but he definitely had a couple really good years with the Dolphins. I want to say Fryer played for the Eagles for a little bit too. But he was in not a good franchise, the Patriots. So his career that was pre-Tom Brady.
They had some tough years back then. I will tell you.
Yeah.
I will tell you. So yeah, without a doubt. Thanks, Mike, Mark, for chiming in. He was a Bronco.
Yeah.
On a Super Bowl team.
Super Bowl team. Was he really? So he was a backup to Terrell. No, he would have been later on. So he was on the Von Miller, Peyton Manning team, right, Sab? So who was the starting running back for the Broncos on the Peyton Manning? I'm drawing a blank here, but
I'm trying to remember too.
That was Gary Kubiak coach team that the Broncos beat the Carolina Panthers, where Von Miller absolutely dominated in the Super Bowl. And I appreciate all the Stump Gyro questions. And we're also going with today, Blake Becker's fired up. By the way, Phil, Blake Becker's going to be live from Key Largo here at 9:30. But Blake wants to chime in, and we want to get people's comments. Your favorite Death Row song of all time. And when I say Death Row Records, that could be Tupac, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, the Dog Pound, which I know Tim celebrates the Dog Pound's entire catalog, Daz and Corrupt. What's your favorite Death Row Records song of all time? So that means Tupac, Dre, Snoop, Lady of Rage, Dog Pound.
And I know you guys are like wanting me to play some of these right now, but unfortunately we'll get copyrighted violations, so they'll get you.
And Harry O and Snoop Dogg now on Death Row Records. We don't want problems with Harry O. So
yeah, we don't want these guys doing drive-by on our studio. Hey, we're just kidding, guys. We're just kidding.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Meech ratting on people.
I like this. Sab goes, how much do you have to pay Tim to take that Death Row pick?
Sab, I thought it was going to be a hard sell. I was trying to explain the vision to Tim and really wanted to do this, and Larry loved it. And, so we've been wanting to do that for a while. So I came up with the current one to do, but Larry had this vision in 2020 to do with Byron, and it never came to fruition. And might have been good for Byron's political career, maybe not to do that, but we had fun with it. And Tim was like, "Yeah, sure, fine." And I said, "Tim, you're going to be Suge Knight. You know who Suge Knight is, right?" I know. And turned out great. We had fun, and really excited to get that mural debuted on Tuesday after podcast party. Too many good ones. All right, well, no, Mike, I think you threw some in there. He threw some in there. I saw.
We've got one more, but I wanted before I get to that, I want to talk.
I want to know Sab and Fiola's favorite Death Row. So the Tupac, Dre, Snoop Dogg song, and anyone else that wants to chime in. I can't wait to hear Blake's. And Fiola said he wants to get in construction. How does he have a spot in Key Largo? work hard and do good, great remodels, and dreams do come true apparently. Because yes, Blake does have a membership at Key Largo. And wasn't that a song? Key Largo.
Wasted
Yeah.
away again. Margaritaville down in Key Largo too.
Was it?
Little Jimmy Buffett. But a little bit, I wanted to mention about the Suge Knight. So part of my job at the sheriff's office and part of my job to go out around the country and educate law enforcement folks is I used to talk a little bit about that whole Rampart scandal. LAPD involved with Suge Knight, Rafael Perez. There's a book. That's all right, Patrick. I wasn't talking. Don't worry. But Rafael Perez and look at Rafael Perez and how that whole thing took place. So we get a chance to go around and talk about it. Go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just going to jump because we were talking about it in this car, and Tim did his research and knows about this stuff. I love 50 cents. I love dollars more.
Thanks, Lois.
Rafael Perez, actually, the movie Training Day is loosely based Denzel Washington's character on Rafael Perez, who was a big part of that Rampart scandal and allegedly was an off-duty cop for Death Row Records. So,
yeah. So what happened was Rafael Perez started to do a lot of off-duty security, and like I explained to you, it's kind of that's frowned on at the sheriff's office. Matter of fact, it's not at Collier County Sheriff's Office, not part of our policy. So any type of off-duty employment must go through the sheriff's office, get approved, and so on and so forth. But out in LA, we had these guys that were working off duty for turns out to be for death row and protection and things like that. Well, what happens is they get wrapped up into it. Next thing you know, they're involved in it. Next thing you know, they're taking evidence out of lockers, all that stuff. So Rafael Perez, allegedly, Rafael Perez was involved in that whole thing. But that book
Allegedly.
called Labyrinth is very good read and educational, but a lot of it.
and then Training Day again, loosely based on Rafael Perez.
Yeah, and Meredith comes on. I'm sorry, just a little bit late. That's all right, Meredith. We're glad to have you on. Anytime you come on is always a good time.
Better late than never. We got we got some fun topics to discuss. And Blake Becker live from Key Largo. I can't wait to see his scenery view. He's joined us from Mar-a-Lago live, and now his residence in Key Largo. So can't wait to have Blake Becker on. Larry Wilcoxon, where are you at?
Larry Wilcoxon, is he jumping on the chat? Chat a little bit.
Let me see if I can get old Larry Love. Bear with me. I know Tim hates when I get on my phone.
Yeah,
Usually I'm working. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I always like to play this disclaimer before we get into our stories because listen, any story we show is not a reflection of 239, Studio 239, nor are they guilty because, like we say, guilty until proven innocent. So we always want to make sure we put that little disclaimer up there.
And anything that comes out of my mouth does not reflect on Tim Jarrett or his career or Tim. Do not. Poor Timmy, it's funny. We were at the Naples group breakfast yesterday. Big shout out to the Naples group. Heather, Michelle, yeah, absolutely. And so we're sitting. Rich Hampton, a good friend of yours, Tim.
Blake Becker invited us. So that's good too.
Okay, I'm talking, Tim. I'd like to get to the story if I could, please.
You cut me off too, so that's what it is.
So we came up as Blake's guests, and Patrick Dearborn says he invited us, but he didn't invite us. But so anyway, we're at the table. Myself, Tim, Blake Becker, Tim Jarrett, Dan Kowal. And Rich kind of throws a little dig in. The misfits over there at table 9, minus Commissioner Kowal. Poor Dan, he's sitting with. I don't know how you got lumped in now, too. Like, I can understand myself, Blake, and Pat. But
how do I get lumped in with you guys as being a misfit?
You're hanging out with us too much. Guilty by, as you know, Tim, from your days on the street and law enforcement, you kind of get lumped into what who you're hanging out with. So unfortunately for you, you're hanging out with myself and Blake and Relentless Hope and Huffman. So you kind of get lumped into that. But we're trying to do good now. So don't beat Tim up for our past.
Yeah, it's kind of funny the people that I put in jail now that I'm hanging out with them. So
Never put. Yeah. Well, disclaimer on that. You never.
Well, I didn't say you, but now I'm hanging out with them. But that shows that, hey, listen, no one's perfect, and we're glad to be all hanging out, and getting things done. But no,
we have fun.
We have a good time.
Yeah,
real quick, I wanted to go over this. This is a big story down in East Naples. We had the commissioner on the other day. We should have talked about it a little bit.
Is it though?
Well, I think it's a big story because it's the tissue box. They call this the tissue box. Lois goes allegedly. I like that, allegedly.
My favorite word, Lois. We go.
Yeah.
We don't want no lawsuits or problems.
We don't definitely don't know, but we're not really like we said. We're not saying anything negative. We're always saying, hey, innocent till proven guilty. What's your thought on this about the tissue box down on Davis Boulevard?
Well, the fact that it's a big story, and it is a big story locally, and it's been talked about, and Commissioner Kowal kind of, got dragged into. I know he's commissioner, but he's gotten a lot of flack over it. I personally think it's fine. I know you said you think having a mural is fine. You just don't like the actual painting of what's on there. But they're trying to make the Bayshore area an art district, so it kind of falls in line the Bayshore Art District. So I don't think it's a big deal. I don't have a problem with it. I don't. I guess you can argue what should have been pictured or designed there, but here again, Naples, and you tick off some few people, some influential, powerful, I guess, people, and they will shut your shit down. So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, real quick on the comments, give us your thoughts. Now, I will say that this is subjective, right? So what I like and what you like is going to be totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was you, you'd put, a Death Row 50 Cent mural up there. I would probably put something a little bit more, I don't know.
Rainbows and unicorns and
yeah, you never know. I put something a little. I don't like this, but just because I don't like it doesn't mean it shouldn't be there. I think they spent a lot of money on putting that thing up there too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they probably let the artists decide what they want to put up there. So what the artists take is going to be what some other people may not think. And we need some culture in Southwest Florida, Markville. I agree. I absolutely agree. Was it my particular cup of tea? No, but again, they let the artists pick what they wanted to design and put up there. And, yes, I would have put a Scarface mural up there.
Tombstone, that would have been good
Tombstone,
too.
that's a good one too. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's actually when you come down Davis, it's kind of like right there. So I think some thought, but again, it's so subjective.
You're gonna have an accident because of it. You're gonna stop traffic. I mean,
no, it doesn't look. I don't think it looks good. I mean, my personal opinion.
It's subjective. What looks good or doesn't look good to you may look good to someone else. And obviously, we have an older crowd in Naples, especially that area. So here again, it's been a hot topic button. But I guess you could look at how blessed are we live in Collier County when stuff like this is a big deal and not drive-by shootings and other crimes or whatever. So, guess you got to look at it that way. This is what's getting people riled up. A mural in Davis Boulevard, Bayshore area. So. Yeah,
and Amanda Jaron said that put it right correctly. Like, so good art or bad art is completely subjective. In this case, This mural was painted with a floral pattern. In a Florida color palette. So, but I will say that a Florida color palette is subjective too, because what goes for Key West, what goes for South Beach, what goes for Naples, Florida is totally different, So
whether you want the Naples Pier drawn on there or a freaking what's Naples, Florida? Again, subjective. So I think we should get a Patrick Dearborn mural.
Yeah, you and Pat got a thing going, so yeah, that would be kind of pretty cool. It'd be good. I know you
guys.
What
do you mean, me and Pat got a thing going?
Yeah, you guys got a little thing going. So let's talk about let's push this over to a little thing. Oh, wait, let's see here. Mark's got a little bit of a comment. No, I don't, actually. I don't have a problem with Wynwood. I think it's kind of fun over there. Get pictures everywhere. Little
So it's
graffiti
fine in
going
Miami,
on.
but not in Naples.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'd want a graffiti on that building. But in Wynwood, it works okay.
It's fine in Miami.
Oh, and have you been to the Wynwood area over there?
I have.
It's all pretty much. Chicken Bee says, Lois, why don't they have us on it?
That works. Wayne Smith would be a great one. They could have a rotating one, pay tribute to Wayne Smith.
Yeah, that would be actually the best one. But let's talk a little bit about this chicken chain, BBQ Chicken. Tell us a little bit about, maybe, and throw in the comments. This restaurant's coming, but what's your favorite place? Do you like Popeyes or Kentucky Fried or Publix? Publix, my favorite chicken.
Or Chick-fil-A.
Which one do you like? Popeyes, Chick-fil-A.
My daughter's obsessed with Chick-fil-A, so we frequent Chick-fil-A often. But for barbecue, Mission Barbecue, obviously a little biased there. But for more like fast food, I like Popeyes. Not the same like it was a couple of years ago, but what is, right? I know you like PDQ, huh? You're a big PDQ guy.
I like the chicken tenders. Pretty good. Yeah, I like the chicken tenders. Hey, if you get a chance, too, there's a really good restaurant just opened up. It used to be Zookie's. Now it's called Sonny's up on Mockley Road. They do a great job. And I will tell you that the food at Aldo's is great. Arjun over there. Mark throws out there, he says that PDQ's best chicken. They have one by us right there on Airport Road, too. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a real good place to eat.
Tim likes PDQ right now, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to try that. I need to try that Sony's. This is about the third time you promoted it on the show, Tim. I hope you're getting something for free, because I think that's the third time you name dropped them.
Yeah, it's good. I like it over there. I mean, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't give the name out if I didn't think the food was good. But
no,
because most of the time you'll get a place that has chicken tenders, maybe Cisco, you can tell it's frozen or whatever, they throw them in there. But when they hand batter them and do that, it makes it good. I don't know the owner, but it's a good place.
Yeah, I got to try it out. It's on my spot to try out this weekend. PDQ milkshake. Oh, I'm a milkshake guy, Fiola, so I think I've been to PDQ once, but didn't get the milkshake there. What flavor milkshake should I get at PDQ? Fiola. But
what's your favorite? Vanilla or chocolate or strawberry?
Tim, you know me well enough by now. What I do is I try to get at least two flavors. So I'll do strawberry, chocolate, and if they have multiple, like at Culver's, I do a marshmallow, strawberry, chocolate, and banana. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, how can you tell what you're eating? It's just a big pile.
It's a surprise. My taste buds are very articulate, and I like a lot of flavor in them. So the more variety, the better. Your
taste buds are articulate.
Yeah, I like to excite my taste buds. So as you can attest, and it's a running joke with some people, including my daughter, like a hot sauce. If you have 12 different hot sauces on the menu, I got to get at least 4 to 5 and mix them up.
Chicken Bee, I know you're on. Meredith, tell us what your favorite place to get a milkshake is. That's going to be the next question.
Steak and Shake does a pretty good job on milkshakes, and Culver's.
Yeah, they do a good job there.
And shout out to 239 Nutrition, because they have healthy milkshakes, and they taste really good as well.
Yeah, the milkshakes we have in town, they're all pretty good.
Remember Cheeseburger
used to be good.
Really good milkshake.
Yeah, it used to be good. Yeah, for sure. The next story, I think you guys will all remember this lovely lady, Casey Anthony, who actually put her daughter in a trunk, ditched her in the woods, and she's been now living free for about 20 years. Yeah, we've covered that already. That was the very first thing. Oh, Lois goes back to promoting Chicken Bee to sergeant, which was good. Promoted her rank, reference her rank. But do you remember Casey Anthony, Patrick?
Vaguely. I didn't follow that closely.
Yeah. She was a piece of work, right? So what happened was she had a very young daughter, and she basically killed her daughter. That's allegedly. We'll use it again. And she ditched her daughter right around the corner from her house, put her daughter in the woods. They later found her there. She basically continued to party with her friends, acting like nothing was happening. Goes on. Finally, they make the arrest on her. They put her in jail. She said some things while she was in jail. They incriminate her as well. She goes to trial. After a long jury trial, they found her innocent. So guess what? She's innocent. She's out. She never got convicted. She's trying to make some comebacks here lately. There was a special, I think, on Netflix, or one of the programs you can get streaming, and she basically now is surfacing, and now she's a person that's gonna stand up and give legal advice or give legal help to females and those folks that are in the LGBTQ community. And she said she's been in the legal field since 2011. Well, that's the year she got arrested. So let's just watch her little video real quick. What's that?
I guess technically she's right if she's been.
Yeah, she's not lying when it comes to that. Yeah. Let's hear her talk.
She got TikTok video. Not getting anything on there, Tim. Can you give us a summary what she talked about?
I kind of did, Pat, but what it is basically this is her first time that she's kind of coming out, and she's on TikTok, and she's basically saying that she's now going to give legal advice to people she's going to start helping females that need assistance, and then also those in the LGBT community.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so she's talking about it. It runs a couple seconds here more, but I kind of wanted to get a little feedback from what everybody's thoughts are. If you remember Casey Anthony.
Yeah, I don't think we have the audio coming through on that video, Tim.
Can you hear that, Patrick?
I'm not getting anything, no. Yeah, so I guess
Okay. No audio on it? Okay.
nope. But you gave us the recap so people can chime in what they think of Miss Casey Anthony. And she's in the Orlando area now, you said?
Just a second, Patrick. Can anybody hear that? Oh, no audio. Mike said no audio. Yeah, so basically, Casey Anthony, she's getting back into it. Some people think she's trying to get some attention. She lives in South Florida, they think. Her big thing is she's doing these videos from her car so she can keep her, basically her location secure and people won't track her down and find her. But she's basically on TikTok trying to, promote herself and get her word out there. So yeah, but we'll check out. We'll get some audio on that. And but if anybody here remember her, just throw us something in the comments. I don't know if anybody does, but I kind of thought that was an interesting little story that she's trying to get her name back out there.
Yeah, with social media now, you can do that very easily, fortunately and unfortunately, I guess, in this case, right?
Yeah, get your name out there and try to make yourself relevant again. And she was known back at the time as being the worst mother, not just in Florida but in the country. So yeah, nothing to be proud about. Let's talk a little bit about this next story, Pat. Give us a little. Give us your thoughts on this.
So what was this? The list of 8 popular Florida towns that realtors predict that prices will plummet. Actually lived in Port St. Lucie for a year. I managed Miller's Ale House and Port St. Lucie. Wow, that that's like if Naples and Fort Myers had a baby, Tim. It's just like if you mix the two, traffic absolutely outrageous, and it's kind of a mixture again of like Naples and Fort Myers, the best way I can describe it. I know the property taxes there went up significantly, so I think that's got something to do with it, and just the congestion there is incredible. Delray Beach, where Rob Sony lives, I'm familiar with that area as well. So it's interesting. Gainesville, I don't know why anyone would want to live in Gainesville. No disrespect to Gainesville, but a few times I've been there, not impressed. And, just see Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete, not Naples, because Naples, like we always talk about, is a bubble. I don't know where the last one is. Oviedo, where's that, Tim? I know.
Oviedo, that's up towards Orlando, right outside Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mostly northern Florida, besides Fort Lauderdale and Delray, and Port St. Lucie is on the other coast. But so I guess you can get a steal in one of those areas here coming up soon, huh?
Well, we have these cities, but it's going to hit Florida in general. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
Naples is definitely going to be impacted. We've already seen some major reductions in the pricing of homes. Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete.
Naples won't crash though. Naples, I still think
you're going to see a significant decrease in property.
20%, 30% when you say significant.
I'd say 20-25%.
Okay.
There's already houses that we've had listed, and me being in real estate for as long as I have, I've really never seen it. It's not going to be 2008, 2010,
No way.
none of those numbers, but you're going to see prices come down, because what happens is our inventory is going up.
Yep.
And that causes our prices to fall because people have more choices. And I always like to try to explain it like, if I've got 25 Tahoes on a Chevy dealership, they're all color white,
Yeah.
and there's 25 of them, you're probably going to get a pretty good deal on one if you go in there. But if there's only one or two, and you go in there and try to buy one, they're going to be like, hey, we want top dollar for it. So it works the same way in the housing market. So we're starting to see quite a few of that.
If you had to move to one of those 8 cities, which one would you pick on that list, Tim?
If I wanted to move to one of those,
Yeah, if you wanted to or had to.
if I had to, I would probably go to, on that list, I'd definitely go to Tampa.
Yeah.
I like Tampa. Orlando is definitely very touristy to me.
Mm-hmm.
St. Petersburg's nice, but you're right there on the water. Fort Lauderdale's cool, but I can drive there in an hour, so I don't really need to go there.
A lot going on in Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale.
Well, how about you, Patrick?
On that, Delray Beach is nice, actually. Delray Beach, if I had to pick out of that list, Delray Beach or Tampa, I would say.
Yeah, and I never spent a lot of time at Delray, so I don't know it that well, but yeah. Mike chimes in a little bit here. Let's see, Mike, what do you got? A lot of Florida's in a hyper supply. I'm having a hard time finding commercial investment properties because rents are falling. Yes, rents are definitely falling, which I guess is good in the short term because people can live here and work here and do the same. So it's definitely helping out in that aspect.
It's kind of balanced itself out a little bit. It's definitely getting a little bit more under control. East Coast all day.
Yeah. But, I would say that we're going to definitely see a cut down. I've had to work with my sellers and try to explain to them, like, listen, when you live in a community and you have 38 homes for sale in that community and people have choices, then they truly will look around a lot more. So it's one of those scenarios where, hey, the more choices you have, the more options you have, it's definitely turning into a seller's or buyer's market versus a seller's market. And that's something we haven't seen here in the last 4 or 5 years.
Not since pre-COVID, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So big deal. Next little story we have coming up here: 78-year-old woman who shot her 77-year-old husband. She referred to as the love of her life in the head while he was holding her wrist in the hospital bed. Was sentenced. Give me your thoughts on this, Patrick. Heartbreaking story, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anytime you get something like that, that's not good. And I'm just trying to see the backstory behind this. But I mean, you wonder too at that age, are you in the right state of mind? What's going through your head? And always not, don't like reading stuff like that.
Yeah, and basically this one boiled down to is they had a suicide pact in place, and she wasn't able to follow through on her end, but her husband was terminally ill, and this happens quite frequently. Husband's terminally ill. They said they can't live without each other. No reason to go on. She ended up doing, I think, a year and a day in jail. So yeah,
remember Dr. Kevorkian?
Yeah, Jack Kevorkian. I remember that. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, people. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
Assisted suicide.
Assisted suicide. Do you think that should be allowed?
I do. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody truly wants to die, as long as you're not impacting others,
and if you're sick, you're dying, and you're in pain, and you want assisted, I agree with you on that, Tim. I think that's the first time we've agreed on something.
Yeah.
Gary, that's what we agree on.
Yeah, as Robert Burke says, very sad, tragic scenario.
Yeah.
I would never want this to happen to anybody in my family, to be put in that situation. But she probably was, did her time and said, "Hey, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take care of this. Is what he wanted," and that's kind of the way we're going to roll with this. So
yeah. At least they lived a long life, set up in their 70s. So I'm just trying to get through my 40s.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Obviously, I think age has a big impact on that too. If you're in your 40s and 50s, and you still got a lot to contribute. Not that you don't at your 70s and 80s, because sometimes those years are more valuable. But I think at that point, you kind of know, like, hey, I've done what I can do in this lifetime. But
you're in your 70s, Tim. So
yeah, that's right. I'm in my early 30s right now. So yeah, it's been a little bit difficult. This next one, another love story. Very cute lady is sitting there, and basically what happens is she's sitting at a table at the airport, and I thought it was kind of a funny story, an interesting story to put up. And she's sitting there, and the pilot walks by. The pilot walks by, and he drops this napkin on her table, which basically says, "I've traveled all around the world, and you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen while doing my travels." So, it kind of leads me to wonder, the pickup line, is it a good one, or what's some of the pickup lines you've used? This is pretty crafty, right, Pat?
That's pretty crafty. I mean, because he's been around the world, yeah, and he's seen his baby. You know that reference to that song, but pretty smooth. Hopefully, she said yes or took him up on a date, and hopefully he wasn't flying her plane if she said no.
Good point. Yeah, so I mean,
that would talk about a rocky start if she took a pass. I agree. That's definitely a G move. You wonder how many times he's maybe used that line, but looks like a pretty girl. So maybe he was being honest. So, but makes you wonder where these pilots' heads are at too, because you see all these issues in the sky too. So maybe they should be more focused on landing planes.
Listen, man, the guy's going through the airport. Give him a break. He sees a beautiful girl. He throws down a napkin. I mean, come on, man. The guy's human.
Yeah, but you got to be locked in. You got to be locked in.
Walked in like this, walking down, through the airport. But you got to look at it like this. Like, he dropped it down, and that is a reason for him to be happy and be alive. You don't want him jumping in the plane all angry and sad.
Yeah, no, I agree. It makes for a smoother flight.
How did you meet? I mean, you're not married anymore, but how did you meet your wife? What's your love story?
Walking our dogs, actually. We were both walking. I was walking Mason at the time. A dog I just put down 15 years, but she was walking her dog Nico, and we started talking, and it ended up getting married. Actually, when we got married in Michigan at the church, the father mentioned the story how we met, walking our dogs, because pretty neat. So, yeah.
I met my wife, and I knew her for a year or so before I built up the courage to say, "Hey, here's my card. I'd like to go out. Give me a call later on, and we'll make a plan for that." Because I wanted her to call me instead of it took me a while. Not because I was real scared and nervous. I just wanted to make sure I, did it the right way. I didn't want to. I'm not like a person that's like, that aggressive when it comes to like talking to people. So
Yeah, I can see that clip.
especially my wife.
Yeah.
My lovely wife. So, but
All right, relax.
that was it. And hey, guess what? I got a nice phone call that evening, and it all worked out, and we're together today, and I'm glad I gave her the card.
Yeah.
So yeah, I some pickup
You're lucky
lines.
you did.
And it wasn't in a bar. It wasn't out there. Not that that's a bad thing. I didn't go online. Are you surfing online, Patrick, for anything? Any love, or what are you doing?
I do not surf online for dating. Only business social media. I can honestly say that I've never done any kind of online dating or surfing the web for a Ukraine bride.
Who put in there? It doesn't have to. Why did it have to be Ukraine? It could be down south Naples. It could be Fort Myers. Put in there. Chicken Bee, I like this one. She goes, I stick to the dogs. They understand my language. That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Good idea, but
Yeah.
truly a best friend.
Yeah. And you know what? The good thing about a dog is no matter what type of day you have, you walk in the house, they're always there for you.
Always.
Yeah,
They don't
it's
care if you're bringing back money. If you're having a bad day, good day, unconditional love.
Yeah, so loyal and just it's amazing. Now listen, I got a story here, and first off, I want to preface this with saying that there's no cop likes a bad cop, and
Yeah.
I will tell you that. So there's some real knuckleheads out there, and this guy, a New Hampshire cop who bragged he was officer sexy, right, is accused of having images of young children being raped. I'm sorry, Patrick?
Didn't you have that nickname when you were on the force?
Yeah, I definitely did not have Officer Sexy on my radar when I was that. But yeah, this guy had he was living two lives, right? So he's out in the public, pushing for child's rights, trying to do good things in the community, for kids, and then behind the scenes he was, basically allegedly, let's use the word allegedly, basically transferring photos of children being raped at young ages. So yeah, not good.
No, it's absolutely awful for anyone to do that. But we hold law enforcement to a higher standard in the community, and see that that's going on is absolutely disgusting. And it's true. Then I'm sure he'll face the proper punishment. And it gives, like you said, the good police black eye when stuff like that's going. Because I think we were talking about it this morning. I mean, especially like Collier County Sheriff's Office, they do a great job of vetting who they let in. So they're very careful who they let in. But unfortunately, you always get a bad apple or two that can kind of maybe sneak in, fool, whatever you want to say, the process. And but I'm sure he'll be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, and we've had officers that have gone bad in our agency, and I know they've had it up in Lee County. It does happen. They get through.
Yeah, like with
And-
anything,
Yeah, and the thing is one of these bad scenarios, basically a bad apple really can spoil the whole bunch,
Yeah.
or perception of it, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're just again referencing to the event we went to at Naples Group in Richhampton. I mean, we really are lucky in Collier County. There's just some really great police in the Collier County Sheriff's Department and leaders of the community. So you don't hear that too much about that in Collier County. I can tell you that. Nobody hates a bad cop more than a good cop. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your favorite bad cop movie, Tim? Like that comes to mind, that someone that portrayed a cop that went kind of rogue. Since we've talked about the Rampart scandal, and now you have this going on, which I'm sure you probably did enjoy that because it gives cops a black eye. But I guess Training Day would be one, right? Because he was a bad cop.
Training Day. I was just gonna say, Training Day was a real good movie.
But Training Day was great because it showed a corrupt bad cop, and then showed someone coming up the ranks who's being a cop for all the right reasons.
Yeah, and they say that was based off some stuff that was going on as well. So, Yeah, and they had one not long ago. I think it was Blue something. I think Mark Wahlberg played in it. Played out in Boston. I think it was. That was a great one too.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly. Or We Own the Night too. Yeah.
Yeah, We Own the Night. There and there's obviously a lot of them out there. And the thing about where they play out, a lot of times they're in bigger cities, Baltimore, New York. They had a few that had played out. The one that was down in the Keys with I think it was the Train or Time or something like that. That was a pretty good one. That was with not Denzel. I'm trying to remember who the actor was in that. But yeah, when they play a bad cop though, I always like laugh like.
I think you're thinking of Out
was
of
it?
Time. With
Out of
Denzel.
time. That was Denzel, right?
Yeah,
Was that
yeah.
Denzel? But the funny thing is I like to watch them because they portray these cops of getting away with stuff that would nearly be impossible, but not impossible. But as I watch through these movies, it's hard to watch a movie.
Yeah, I bet.
It's hard to watch a movie as a police officer because you're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Really? But things will surprise you. Things will surprise you.
Hollywood, they got to jazz it up a little bit.
Yeah, you got to make it interesting for the viewer. But this guy, Mr. Sexy, hopefully will be locked up and
Be Mr. Sexy in a jail cell for
as Robert Burke said, predator. A lot of times that's how predators operate, though. They operate on the basis of putting themselves in a position where they can be around kids. They can be in position to where they have standing in the community, and they'll use that position and that position of trust to be able to be a predator in those situations. So that does help happen a lot. So yeah, definitely.
What else we got, Tim?
Yeah, we got some good ones. This one happened last Super Bowl, not this past one, even though it's a Chiefs Super Bowl. But they did reveal the cause of death of these three gentlemen and there was somebody charged with it because they found in their system fentanyl. There was cocaine present, and basically what they did is they used drugs and somebody just let them stay outside and freeze. That's basically the nuts and bolts. Have you read up on this one at all, Pat?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, anytime you get fentanyl related, it's just a mixture of not good things happening. And again, Rich Hampton spoke about the dangers and the challenges of fentanyl in the community. So any kind of mixture of fentanyl, it's not going to have a happy ending, unfortunately.
A question I want to ask, and you maybe know a little bit, but when you see the drug, cocaine, whatever it is, are you aware that there's fentanyl in it? And I'm not saying you know this, but talking to some people, are you aware until you take it, or when does that become evident that there's fentanyl? That's a big problem, right?
A huge problem. I think it's the number one crisis, not only facing community in Southwest Florida, but nationwide. It's killed more people, than COVID ever had, and look how serious we took COVID. To answer your question, I have no problem answering that question. No, I mean, not till you start getting the effects and you're like, shit, this is not what I, signed up for. And then now, fairness, you're playing Russian roulette with all the stuff that's out in the street, and there's a good chance it probably has fentanyl in it, because I can tell you, from my experience, even just getting cocaine, and obviously cocaine makes you energy and euphoric, and I've had instances where like this is not cocaine, you're basically nodding out. So just everything nowadays is laced with fentanyl. I've heard stories of people, younger kids, buying marijuana and have overdosing because it had fentanyl. Even vapes, you hear stories now that they're lacing the vapes in school with fentanyl. So it's a different game, different time, and obviously drugs are bad. Stay away from drugs. I wish I never tried a drug in my life, but nowadays it's not worth the risk, because say I won't put a percentage on it, but they're over a 50% chance it's got some sort of fentanyl in it.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
When you are, and just so you all know, for some of you who haven't watched, Patrick's doing outstanding job. So proud of him. He's got the help. He's like so squared away. Pleasure to work with him. But let me ask you this question: when you are under the influence of a narcotic like that,
Yeah.
do you kind of know what's going on, or do you have a feeling, or can you
So-
obviously once it's in your system, you can't control what happens at that point?
Well, so here's the thing, like, from about 2020 to 2023, I was a functioning drug addict, which when you look at it, it was a bad thing. I have a full-time job, worked 60 hours a week, and worked great. I mean, I got, promoted, awards and stuff, so I was able to function under the influence of drugs. And, then you become reliant on it to function, which is not a good thing, but did miss a day of work. If anything went in on my days off if needed, I was able to function. I was a functioning drug addict. The only people noticed like weight loss, and they were just worried. I just always blamed it on the stress. But here's what happened this last time go around. I only used drugs for about 3-4 days, and I couldn't function. I went into work and basically nodded out, got sent home, and then couldn't even basically function to leave the house. And it was just an extreme weird feeling that I never experienced using drugs. Hallucinating, talking in my sleep and to myself, which I had never done. Crazy stuff like just banging on your body, scratching up your body, which opiates makes you scratch. But to the point where when I checked in, they basically were like, "What did you run through the woods to get here?" It was just body all beat up. So stuff I've never experienced. Unfortunately, I've used substances for a good portion of my life, but the stuff I experienced, on my last go around, which was over a year ago, is just nothing like I never experienced. And again, it's scary what they're putting in there. It's just fentanyl. You hear Special K they're putting in, and here again, I thought, no, I get my stuff from a good, reliable person, and no, which is stupid when you think about that, because but it's just scary what they're putting out there. And I guess the good thing for me in that aspect was the drugs just weren't, you weren't getting that feeling like you used to. Even when I was, got some sober time, 8-9 months, people would say, do you miss doing drugs? And I said, yeah, I kind of do, because I enjoyed the high of the drug. But again, this go around was like, this is not even fun. Obviously, too, the destruction it brings in your life and the hurt it causes your family and loved ones. But made it that much easier for me to stop, because it's like it's really changed the game. The drugs that they're putting out there, and it's just absolutely terrible.
Yeah, and again, thank you for sharing all that, because, like I said, I mean, these guys, we'll go back to this incident here, they probably were thinking that they were doing cocaine, right? Let's just assume that, allegedly. Obviously, there were other people using. Kansas City, freezing weather.
Yeah.
Everybody involved. They charged the guy with the deaths. It was a manslaughter charge, it looks like it's going to be. And these guys, basically, they found them 2 or 3 days later, and they were outside frozen to death. So the whole scenario is tragic. And do you feel, in your opinion, that going after the dealers, the people who push the stuff on the streets, do you feel that that's an appropriate tactic for curbing drugs in our country?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I mean, yeah, and the dealers, even if they don't know, like they're intentionally purchasing fentanyl from whoever they're getting, they know that they're taking that chance too, and you're killing people. Ultimately, the America's #1 consumer of drugs. Unfortunately, until we kind of are able to curb or combat that problem, we're not going to stop the flow of drugs into this country. But here again, it goes back to securing the border. And you secure the border, you can stop a lot of the flow of these illegal and dangerous drugs, and whether they're being produced in China or Mexico. Whoever, call me a conspiracy guy, and I have no proof, but I mean, what greater weapon than to put fentanyl in the drugs that are coming to this country and killing off, population, and just destroying communities, and what better? I mean, what? So it's basically another war on America with whoever's putting this fentanyl, whether it's coming from China or Mexico or a combination of both.
Yeah, and thanks, Mike, for putting your comments up there. I love that you own your story. Super proud of you, Pat. Robert's also at any cost get it off the streets.
I think a harsher penalty. Yeah, I mean, some of the, because unfortunately, a lot of times you see someone will get a good lawyer and they can get a couple years on trafficking major drugs. So yeah, absolutely, I'm all for getting drugs off the street at any cost, because it's destroying communities, destroying lives, and unfortunately, young people hear stories of middle school coming into contact with fentanyl and stuff like that. Like when I was in high school, like the worst thing you see is alcohol and maybe some weed, and it's terrible that these drugs are becoming so much more accessible for younger people.
Yeah, and people ask me all the time about my opinion on legalization of marijuana, and my personal opinion is I really think that if you properly legalize marijuana, and I think we've done that in our state, that's okay. But what my big dilemma is, and I think most people the same way, is when people misuse the prescription for it. In other words, you've got somebody who really wants to just smoke weed, and they go to the doctor, and the doctor determines, that they're okay to get prescribed marijuana. I think that's where it becomes a problem. Now, if you got somebody that it's in a situation that has chronic health care, chronic medical situations, yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Marijuana wasn't my thing. Unfortunately, all the other stuff was. But you don't ever hear of anyone overdosing on smoking too much weed. They might have an extreme case of the munchies, but you don't hear of someone just abusing marijuana where they're dying. So it just, I guess, subjective. But not that I'm necessarily for the legalization. I think prescribe and go and get it at a vendor, or like you have what's the my Florida Green or the other companies, but
dispensary,
dispenser, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you get a prescription and you get it prescribed the right way, it's like other medicines. The concern I have is you're getting people that are going out and talking to a doctor, maybe not telling the full story, or they could be telling the full story, but do they really need marijuana to get through every day? I think and people argue with the fact that is it a gateway drug? Is it not a gateway drug? I always get the thing about alcohol is just as bad. I agree. I totally agree.
Alcohol is the ultimate gateway drug.
Yeah. And I agree with it. The thing is do we want to add another to the list? I don't know. My opinion, it makes you stupid. That's what I feel.
Marijuana?
I mean, I think all of it does, really. But marijuana does have a life that stays in your system for a considerably longer time. When you smoke marijuana, it just doesn't go out of your body the next day. I mean, it starts to accumulate over time, and I just think it's something that, if it's abused like anything else, is going to cause you problems. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the whole argument, well, alcohol has caused more damage to families and more damage to humans than marijuana. I agree. I mean, if you think about it, you go to AA. I mean, all the different multitudes of issues that come with alcohol are extremely bad. But do we want to add another layer with the marijuana? My personal opinion, not really. Are there people that need it? Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. If that's the best way to answer that one. Just my opinion. We'll talk a little bit about. We got Blake coming on. He must be really busy down there. So if he wants to jump on, he can come on anytime. He's not in the green room yet, so I'm not really sure, but not a big deal. We talk a little bit about disorders and things that are out there. I personally have self-diagnosed myself as having adult attention deficit disorder, ADHD, right? So I'm self-diagnosed. I just think, to me, it's a good trait in a way, because I like to do things. I like to be on things. I like to learn things. I like to be involved in things. And the more things I have going in my life, I feel like stimulated that way. But I'm on a better track, I guess, does that make sense? I cannot see myself sitting home every day watching Netflix. I mean, I know, Patrick, you're like that too. What's your thought on that?
Well, yeah, no, I think I have ADHD, like the music. Yeah, I love to get music going before I start doing anything. And boy, you don't talk about all over things. We had to move this freaking 650-pound desk. And they said, oh, no, Blake's going to come back here in about 30 minutes. And Tim's like, nope, we got to do it now. So, yeah, and that's a good trait. Like if there's anything going on, you like to nip it in the butt, get it done. So I wish I was a little bit more ADHD like that. But, yeah, I think once you say too, everyone's got a little bit of ADHD in some capacity.
Well, I do get a little bit jealous because I'm not a real good listener. So I do get a little bit jealous about people that can, that can actually look at you, comprehend what you're saying, and come back. I find myself a lot of times, trying to answer for people, cutting people off, jumping in on conversations. I really wish I could be better at that and listen. So but there are people that do not have ADHD. I mean, there's people that can do all that and they can focus when you're speaking.
Yeah.
I do think that. But there's a couple. I didn't put all of 24 in here, but I did put a couple of these in here. Lateness. I'm not late. Matter of fact, I'm just
Never.
the opposite.
I think once in the last year and a half that I've got known you, and we've done events and a lot of things together. You were late one time, and you were extremely apologetic about it, because I'm with you. If someone's late, and especially chronically late, I think it's disrespectful. It just shows that you don't care, and that's my big thing. When I was manager, I was 15 minutes early as far as I'm considered, and if you weren't 5 minutes early, you were borderline late. I implement some at Outback where you couldn't even punch in. If you were 2 minutes late, you had to go get a manager to swipe a card to punch you in.
Yeah, as Robert said, not alone there. I get really pissed off with people who maybe they think they have a little bit higher status than you do, and they think that their time is a little bit more valuable than yours.
Yeah.
And they feel that they can come late, and I'll get there when I get there. I get really ticked off at that, because I'll be quite honest with you. Nobody's time is more important than my own time. So do I appreciate the fact that people are busy? Absolutely. Do I appreciate the fact that people do run late? Absolutely. Just let me know about it. That's all I want.
Exactly.
Just let me know about it. I'm good with that. I can't stand that. Now, if you're late, no big deal. Just, hey, I'm running 5 minutes late. I think this morning I come in, I rolled in, I go, hey, I'll be there in 2 minutes. It was like 6 o'clock, and I said, I'll be there in 2 minutes. Just, it's courtesy, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No one's time is more valuable than anyone else's. So I was at a job where actually recently, and boss was always late. It was just, and you lose the team like that, because it just you show no consideration for other people's time and making people get there early, and then you're 30, 40, 50 minutes late.
Yeah, we have a client at the studio that rolls in late and doesn't even say, hey, I'm sorry. You don't know who the client is, but doesn't even say I'm sorry, doesn't even make any attempt to try to so we just tack it onto their bill. It's just it is what it is. But it's not even about that. It's about respect, right? Who wants to deal with that? And a lot of people know me. Like, I have no tolerance for that. I don't need to be here worrying about whether I got a customer or client or not. It's just like, we want to have you here, but we want you to be part of the team and respect other people's time. It's always a big thing.
And I loved him because usually a business owner will take everyone's money. Any money is good money to a lot of business owners. But I've seen Tim turn money down and refund money if it's not the right fit for the studio, and he just won't take their money because not all money's good money, Tim.
Yeah, and I will tell you, we give everybody a chance. Like, hey, listen, it's not about money to me. It's about building a good team and putting out good product and having fun with it. Number two, if I'm organically interested in something, I have no trouble concentrating on it. These are all kind of excuses or thinking before you got. But if I'm not, the only thing that enables me to get it done is extreme panic. I will tell you that there's a lot of things I put off on the back burner that I don't enjoy doing. I think it's kind of mostly with everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's like every year the taxes. When the tax season comes, I call my accountant and say, hey, can we have a couple more days? The reality is, if I sit down and do it, concentrate on it, it doesn't take me long to do. But it's one of those things where I always find something to do before doing that. So yeah. It's
or answering my phone calls. You always seem to find something else.
Patrick calls me. Yeah, Patrick. I mean, what do you think's excessive? 46 times in a day? Is that excessive? I'm not sure.
Don't be careful how you say it. I never called you 46 times. I was called by someone else 46 times.
No, you don't. But it's funny because Pat we'll be talking, and then 2 minutes later he'll start calling. But the thing is, usually what I do is I try to answer back, and I don't know if you got it.
You always text back I'll call you in a bit.
Yeah, I'll call you in a bit, and then sometimes I forget, but all that.
Yeah, you like to call me when you're driving. Kill some road time.
I mean, who here? Go in the comments. Do you like to call people when you're driving because you have some time? I personally do that because I can have a meaningful conversation instead of a rushed conversation.
See, I'm the opposite because I like to listen to music in the car. So I like to enjoy music. It's like my sanctuary. It gets what Tim?
All we hear is your blinker.
In your car.
All we hear is your blinker. Pat, when Pat calls you next time in his car, which probably won't be for a while, we'll explain that later. But if he calls you in a car, all you hear is the blinker. That's it.
True.
For some reason, that's all you hear.
The loud blinker.
And I think he does like circles and just does the blinker. Yeah. So let's go to the next ones.
I obey the rules of the road, Tim. Sorry that I use my blinker. What do you got here?
Let's see. Number 3, needing music to start any mundane task, homework, housework. Always thought of that because I really like music. Turns out the music gave my brain a dopamine boost to get started and keep going.
Yeah, that's a big one for me. I always like to, if I know I'm starting a project or something, I like to get some music to get the dopamine levels flowing.
Yeah, music for me is good, but you know what's weird about it is I actually enjoy having quiet time. But when I turn music on, it definitely fires me up. There's no doubt about it. So yeah. The number 4 is a big one. Losing my train of thought in the middle of a conversation, and then when I start thinking about it, I forget totally what I was thinking about. But that's because I'm getting a little bit older. Getting a little bit older, Pat.
Yeah, you're a little bit senile. You tend to forget. I'll text something to Tim or tell him something, and later that day, I can share this story, right?
Yeah, you can share it.
During the campaign, Tito Ortiz started following Tim's social media page. So I screenshot it, circle it, send it to Tim at about noon, and 9 p.m. Tim screenshots, circles it almost the same exact way, and look, Tito Ortiz is following. And oftentimes I say, you're going to argue, I didn't see it, or I just glanced over. But there's stuff I'll tell you or mention something, and later that day or the next day you'll basically repeat it like as if you're telling me for the first time. So I get it. It's.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, Pat. I've been hanging out with you for quite a while, and we spend a lot of time during the day together. So you are kind of almost in a position where, when you're like white, it's like tuned you out. When your wife kind of talks to you and says, "Hey, what are you talking about?" But no, I apologize for that. Can I give my big heartfelt sorry right now? Will that work?
Yeah, it's okay.
And listen, we got Blake Becker. We don't want to miss him. He's down in the beautiful.
Thanks for joining us 13 minutes late, Blake.
We were just talking about this, coming on late. Hopefully we can get him. Let's see if we got him. real quick. I think I can put him
Can't
on. Let
wait
me
to
see.
see
Let me
this
see.
together.
Let me see here.
This is
Hey,
gonna.
look at him, Blake. Can you hear us, buddy?
You're in Key Largo. You have a yellow
Can you
wall.
hear me?
Look at you. You look like you're pretty giddy. You look like you're pretty
Well,
giddy. Hey, the glasses. I mean, what's up
I'm
with the
on
glasses?
I'm on island time, guys. I'm on island time. I have to
Yeah.
be honest. Yeah, I'm a little late, but yeah, enjoying the nice, warm, sunny Florida Keys.
Can you show us a little scenery, Blake?
Well, unfortunately, my wife decided to drop me off in a place that has no scenery. I'm right in front of the gym
You look
because
like
I'm
you're
going to the
in.
gym after this live. Yeah, so I mean, I can show you that what the gym staircase looks like. It's
Yeah, we're
pretty
good with
nice.
that.
Yep,
Uh,
it's beautiful. Yep,
guys
that's
in
the school
Key
back there.
Largo.
Yeah,
All right.
Guys,
yeah. So
I could get a little bit funny
I was
here, but
trying to do this. I was trying to do this live from the top of the marina and show you guys a good view, but the wife had other plans in mind. So here we are.
And we
keep
both know happy wife equals.
happy
Upset
life, happy
live
life. Yeah.
podcaster person today.
Well, at least
That's all right though.
at
It's
least
all right.
you're not coming live from where you usually hang out down in the Keys. So we didn't want to
That is true.
divulge we didn't want to divulge
That's
that to anybody.
that's that's where Pat and I got. That's where Pat and I first met. Yeah.
Down in the Keys. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on this weekend. You're down there with the family. It's always good to have you come on. Uh,
We are, yeah. We're
it's
enjoying.
big.
It's spring break. It's spring break for the kiddo, so we're enjoying a few days down here before I get back for the big magazine release party Tuesday night. So, gonna just kick back and relax a little bit, eat a little food, do a little relaxing. Like I said, I'm gonna hit the gym here in a little bit. Got no days off, as Patrick Dearborn would say. No days off. Got to stay in the gym. Jira, you got to get on that tip, baby.
I know I'm going to see what my blood work and get on the Jeff Delaney T Clinics program. So I'm definitely excited
Let's
about
go.
that.
Shout out to Jeff Delaney.
Absolutely, absolutely. T Clinics USA. And what magazine launch party, Blake? And talk to us
Hey,
about that.
Kristen. Kristen is on and listening. She just chimed in. She said we also had a cranky 5-year-old. Yeah, I see that. Thank you for putting that up there, Tim.
Are you talking
We
about
like to
Blake
keep the live updates live. Okay.
Yeah.
are you talking about Blake or his daughter?
What's that, Patrick?
Was she talking about Blake or his daughter, the cranky 5-year-old?
Yeah, she was talking about both of us.
Oh, okay.
We both act the same when we don't. We both act the same when we don't get what we want. You know what I mean? Come on.
Thank you,
Shout out to
Chris.
Chris.
Thank you, Kristen, for getting that info out to us because
Yeah. Keep me honest.
Patrick's got the sun shining. He's got a lot going on. We know that, and he's keeping an eye on Blake too. So it's good.
But talk to us about the magazine launch party Tuesday, Blake. What's going on?
Tuesday.
What magazine are you on the cover of
City
this month?
lifestyle, baby. Come
Yeah,
on. Our boy Greg putting
Greg
on a
Beth.
big event, 4 to 6 o'clock, waxing, new restaurant right there in Mercado. It's going to be a great time. My buddy Joe Nugent is blessing us on the cover as well. A few other people. I don't have everybody's names memorized, but
None of that matters.
it's going to
Blake
be a great
Becker's on
time.
the cover.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest.
Let's
There's
be
one superstar on that cover. Let's
There's
be
only room
honest.
for one. Next question. I heard that there might be a after podcast party, invite only, so we don't people
This is
can't pop.
Yeah, we don't want people just, showing up. Thanks for spoiling the private part of that, Patrick. But
Well,
yeah,
we didn't say
we're
what
gonna have a
time. It might be at
podcast,
midnight for all we know.
and we don't even know where. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be at the Built by Becker office. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to be? But there will be an invite podcast get together sometime this week. We don't know when and where,
Yeah.
but yes, there's always a little something extra on the magazine release night.
And we had a chance to be a part of a really cool project photo shoot, and it's going to turn into a mural. I've gotten unbelievable feedback. Actually, Mike told me, because he's not on social media, he said he got about 10 messages from people. You got to check out the photo shoot, and That,
I think that was gonna be a picture, right? He's gonna do that in a picture frame, and then we're gonna do like the mural
yeah,
with a couple
Dan,
other people in the on the wall. Yeah, that's gonna
Danny
be awesome.
Pop going
Yeah,
to do a mural of that. And so what we did is we recreated an iconic magazine cover by magazine, Death Row Records, Suge Knight as Tim Tourette, Larry Love as Tupac. Me and Blake had a 2 day debate on who would be Snoop. I was able to be Dre because I wanted to be Dre, and talk to us about
You
that,
look
Blake.
like Drake.
The feedback. Uh, I look like Dre, Dr. Dre.
No. You look like Drake.
Oh, okay.
You definitely look like Dr. Dre.
I'm I'm the behind the scenes producer putting it all together. But favorite
Yeah,
Death
you are.
Row song: Tupac, Snoop, Dre. Who you
I
got?
mean, each like individually.
Yes.
Oh, Snoop's Lottie Dottie. I mean, that's hands down. That's one
Really?
of my favorites. Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Dr. Dre. No offense, Tim, but probably going to be F the Police.
Well, that's
thanks,
NWA.
thanks a lot, thanks a lot,
Yeah,
buddy.
Wow.
We
but he's
appreciate
on.
you.
But he's on there.
You
No,
know
he's
I
what's
mean,
not.
that's like classic.
You know
He's
what?
not on.
Look at Blake. The camera's shaking because his arm's been hanging out there for a little while, and he hasn't worked out today. And he's doing this with the camera. I mean, Jesus, buy yourself a tripod, will you?
Well, he broke yours, Tim. So
I know. Hey, real quick, cold plunge. Did you do a cold plunge today?
Not yet, but I will.
Oh, you will.
I sure will. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm at the gym. I'm going to do the gym. I'm going to do the cold plunge, hit the sauna, and then go back to hanging out with the fam.
That's good.
day in the life of Blake Becker. Cold
Well,
plunges.
you got it made, buddy. You got it made.
Yeah.
I'm a firm
Well,
believer. I'm a firm believer in the cold plunges. I really am. Uh the health benefits for the cold plunge. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I can just tell from my personal experience. My rings are like loose on my fingers. My clothes fit a little better ever since I started doing the cold plunge. And then, of course, adding in with some diet and some assistance from T
some
clinics.
some
Everything is
French
really starting to
fries.
take
Some
shape.
French fries. Throw in the French
Lots of
fries.
French fries, man. Lots of French fries.
We're not going to tell on you. We won't tell on you.
We got to get this guy Robert Burke some T-shirts. He's got to stop texting me, man. I get about 13 texts a day from Robert Burke. Shout out to Robert Burke, but let's
I
get this
told
guy
him
a
we got him.
T-shirt, man.
I need to get a size. That's all, Robert. And they're only like $42 a piece, so we're good. We got you. We
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for
No,
sure.
Robert's good. Thank you for being a big time fan. We appreciate that.
Number
Gotta
one
get my
fan.
hat.
I don't think there's anybody out there
Anybody
who's,
out
who's
there?
been a bigger
Yeah,
fan.
we got a lot of people listening today, so it's kind of cool. Blake, I wanted to thank you so much for coming on, taking the time out of your vacation. It's always good to have you and
Yeah,
see you.
thanks for taking time out of your busy day between cold plunges and the sauna and knowing your wife. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, it's
Well, yeah, I
important.
mean, if you saw the text message where you guys invited me on, yeah, I mean, it was an honor to be asked to come on today and take time out of my busy day. Yes, but yeah, it was nice to grace you guys with my presence. You know what I mean?
Always. I'm going to be going through Blake Becker withdrawals the next 4 days. When Blake goes on vacation, I can't talk to him 20 times a day like I normally do. So, Tim, I'm going to be bugging you a
That's
lot.
right. Hey, look how
Yeah,
that sun is just lighting up this gray spot in my beard. Does anybody see that?
yeah. You need to
It's
hit that with a
That's
little.
character.
You need to hit that with a little
man,
the dye.
changes
The little
this
dye.
view a little bit, change this angle.
Hey,
Hey,
real quick,
yes.
Blake.
Wayne
Hey,
Smith.
but
Wayne
right now,
Smith.
more Wayne Smith. How we doing, big guy?
Big shout out to Wayne
More
Smith.
importantly, guys, 9:30, the podcast dropped. Tim Jarrett, Built by
Oh,
Becker.
Oh, we
Go
got to
to the
get that.
Built by Becker YouTube channel. Watch the podcast. Tim Jarrett dropped some amazing history and information about his life as a law enforcement officer, his transition into real estate, and then podcast studio owner, now live radio. I mean, the transformation from one position all the way into the next. It's a great story, guys. You got to check it out.
Man, I
that
can't
was a
wait
good
to see it.
podcast.
Yeah, it was a pleasure being on the podcast with you, and you're a great interviewer, and you really get to
I don't
the
know about all that,
you
but
get to the meat of
Hey,
stuff.
hey,
That's
hey,
it's always
hey.
good. Yeah, but
Yeah,
well,
good.
Well, thanks a lot, buddy. We appreciate it. Go off with your family. Have a good time. We're going to be back at it. I know you get back on Tuesday. We're looking forward to seeing
Tuesday.
you. And we'll have
Magazine
a great
release party. Let's go.
Gotta
Studio
love
239. It's going to be a blast, man. After Hours podcast built by Becker. The whole 239 gang's going to be together. Man, probably have
Mural.
some special. Yeah. There's going to be
Hey,
live
real
artists.
quick.
I mean, it's going to be some cool stuff going on that night.
What did your wife think of the death row picture?
Oh, she loved it. She loved
Did-
it, right, Chris? Absolutely loved it. Yeah. She's a big fan of hip hop. Yeah.
Heard that.
Yeah. for
word,
sure.
word.
Love you, babe.
All
Love you,
right,
babe.
see you guys.
Yep.
Thank you. Gotta love Blake Becker, man. That guy's locked on. He's always fun. Good to bring on. Again, brings a lot to the show. Got a great
It helps
podcast.
sponsor the show.
If you haven't
Sponsored
seen
by
it, yeah.
Becker Custom Builders.
And we got a little bit of I'll slide it over here because you can see a little bit better. Oh, she loved it. Thanks, Kristen. These guys taught me into it, man. I'm a little bit old for these guys, but they taught me into it. Keeps me young.
Yeah.
But great show today.
Respect.
Fun. A lot of movement, a lot of action, a lot of things we got going.
Moving parts. And then
Yeah.
Monday we got Yvette Benaroche and Greg Dodge.
That's a big one. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. You guys know about the magazine release party and Yvette, all things going on. Big show
Yeah.
Monday.
No, we're looking forward to Monday. Yvette's, I got an opportunity to really get to know Yvette while we were campaigning. A lot of fun with that. She's a fire plug, and she's doing a lot of things in Tallahassee. Can't wait to find out a little bit about what that all entails, but definitely. Mike says, great show again. Hey, it's real. We're still getting through some of the technical humps, but we're having a fun time doing it, and we appreciate you. Thanks for being on and being such a participant, Mike. Everybody, Meredith, Lois, Kristen, going through Robert. We appreciate everybody, and you guys are wonderful. But we're going to take this out. It's Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun. Patrick, guess what? Point it out. Point it out, buddy. Point it out. Towards it. There you go, Patrick. Here we go. Call me.
With that drum, did it drum. Everybody asking what they